Governor Herbert is committed.
A statesman.
He is inquisitive,
a true leader,
courageous,
he is genuine,
competitive,
Exceptional.
A businessman.
tireless,
passionate,
and very patriotic.
Gary has always been a natural leader. When he was in real estate, for instance, he was president of the board of realtors for the Utah County Board of Realtors, and then was the state president. And when he became county commissioner, it was the same thing. He was the president over the association for them. Then when he became governor, he was chairman of the Western Governors, and then last year was the president of the NGA, the National Governors Association. And so he's always had those leadership qualities. People see him as a natural leader.
Governor Herbert has been ideally prepared and is well suited to serve as the governor today, not only because of his years of service as an elected official, but also because of his years of service as a small business owner.
I've had the rare opportunity to actually know the governor very well before he was ever in politics. So I got to know Gary Herbert as a business person. I've seen the uniqueness of what happens when you get a governor who actually runs a business.
If you take a look at his record, both from private community and private business world to when he started serving on the county council to being the lieutenant governor and then ultimately the governor, he really is well prepared. I don't know that we've ever had a governor that's been better prepared. His education through experience, I think, is what really prepared him for the job.
He's such a great role model to our kids, really showing them that you can be anything you want to be.
One of the things I know about the governor is he's a very big competitor. He loves sports. He loves to win.
He's an athlete. You know, he's a star quarterback on the football team in high school and point guard on basketball, and he's a very good tennis player. And he's a doggone good golfer, and he owes me strokes.
And he wants Utah to win. And I think in many ways he wants everyone in Utah to win and to have that same competitive spirit, and wants to foster an environment that's like that.
Governor Herbert came on board as governor right in the trough of the Great Recession. He set some goals, he set his priorities. He set a goal of Utah to find and create 100,000 jobs in 1,000 days, and he challenged industry to do that.
He went out and said that he believed that Utah could be the #1 state in the country for business development and for economic growth. And that was a very audacious and bold statement, and a lot of people kind of laughed it off.
And I was in the room. I remember there were some people around the table that said, that's crazy. Really? The best performing economy in the country? A premier global business destination?
And then he went to work. And it happened, and over the last 2 years, we have been the #1 economy in the country by a long shot.
Today, we are the fastest growing economy in the nation. We are a premier global business destination. We did create those 100,000 jobs for 100,000 Utahns.
Utah is well run. The state is respected. What he has done has been done without a lot of fanfare and self-aggrandizement, but is done in a very conscientious and dedicated and devoted way.
And it's not something that just continues in and of itself. It's something that leadership has to continue to stoke the fire and to lead, and that's what he believes in, and that's what he's done.
Gary is in this for one reason: to serve the people of the state of Utah. And that means Utah businesses. And we're very, very fortunate.
When we talk about his passion for business, it's only second to his passion for education.
If we're in a restaurant and a little boy comes up and wants to get his picture taken, Gary talks to him about the importance of getting a good education and listening and reading and doing those things he needs to do. And then he says to them, I'm going to make you my ambassador. And he says, and this is what I want you to do. When you go back to your class at school, you go tell them that you're a special ambassador for the governor, and that this is what they have to repeat. If you want a good job, get a good education.
He understands that economic development and education go hand in hand. You have to have a qualified workforce that's educated in order to fill the jobs that are out there and have an economy and a business environment that will prosper
And that's why junior achievement is so important to him and so important to me, is it also understands and combines those two passions and realizes that if we can educate our students at a young age to understand the importance of entrepreneurship, of business management, of economic skills, of budgeting and being frugal, all of those things are important to the state of Utah, that at the end of the day they're going to be much more successful, and that helps all of us here in the state.
I think he fully understands that that is one great education that they can't just get in a classroom, and it expands their horizons, and I think most of all, he realizes that it creates the hope and the confidence in young people that they can do anything, and that's one of the reasons he's been so supportive of junior achievement.
The greatest quality that Gary has as a friend is how much he cares for you and his non-judgmental approach. He just looks after you and cares about you and wants to know how you're doing.
He's not only an effective administrator and leader, he's someone who has shown by example the relationship he has with his family, and that's something I think we so badly need in our country.
I think throughout the governor's life, he had the opportunity of strong support from parents, from others. But I think probably the single most important thing is he has a wonderful partner in his wife, Jeanette.
You know, I've known Jeanette for a long time. We've been married for nearly 47 years, and she's just a wonderful person. I hope to measure up to her someday.
Jeanette holds truly a wonderful place, not only in his heart, his mind, but in everything that he is.
Governor Herbert is someone that cares a lot about his family.
Humble,
Loyal,
Dedicated,
A friend.
He cares.
And he is a good man and a great governor.